I get this comment every day and it bugs me, so I want to say something. I live with this mindset. No matter what I do, no matter where I go, whatever decision that I make, there will always be a percentage of something good and bad that comes along with it. But I refuse to let any percentage or possibility or something bad hold me back from any possibility of good. In my mind, it's like if I'm in a room, okay, I'm in a small room and it's just me and one other person that is protecting me, and I am like the sunshine, and I'm like, I want to go out and go do these things or post something or whatever it might be, and I'm like, it's gonna be so good. And the person protecting me is like, no, you shouldn't, because you know someone might say something or look at you in the wrong way and it's gonna upset you, and you're gonna come back home and you're gonna whine about it and you're gonna cry about it. And no, like, it's the same cycle. You do this all the time. So if you can't handle it, then you shouldn't go. I don't like being told anything like that, because I might look fragile. I get it. I might look fragile, but I am telling you, I'm a powerhouse packed in a tiny body, and I will continue living my life that way. Maybe like a year or two ago, I flew out to another state because I was giving a big keynote speech, and I went on my own. I went on my own, and I flew there, and the loveliest girl picked me up. If you're watching this, you know who you are. I hope we're doing well. She picked me up and she was showing me around their town and everything, and so she drove me to my hotel, and I got my bags, and I was like, I'm good. I can just, you know, go in and check in or whatever. So I go in, and like about a minute or two after like being at the little front desk, the girl that dropped me off came in, and she just said, yeah, I just want to make sure everything's taken care of. So sweet. The lady, there's two people helping me. There's an older lady and a younger girl. And so the four of us are now just doing small talk, whatever, as people do when they're checking in. The older lady asked me for my ID, and I give it to her, and she looks down at my ID and she looks up at me and she says, oh, I think I've seen you before. Now, I'm fully aware that there's a few people who know who I am now, and I've had so many great experiences with people, and I love meeting you guys, and it's always so sweet. But I never ever assume that someone knows who I am, because that just, I don't know, makes me feel gross. Anyway, so the lady, she says, you look familiar. I think I've seen you somewhere. And I was just like, oh yeah, maybe. And she looks down again and looks back up at me, and she says, were you in an accident? And I didn't say anything. And she says, were you hit by a drunk driver? And I'm quick on my feet, but that was a new one. It sort of took my breath away a little, and I didn't say anything. And the girl that was with me, like, her eyes were really big, and then the younger girl was like, what just happened? And then the older lady was just like genuinely waiting for my answer. And so I just said, no, it wasn't an accident. I was born this way, like, this is me. And she says, oh, okay, well, I saw this girl who was in a really bad accident. She was hit by a drunk driver, and she looks a lot like you. So I thought you were her. And I just said, well, that's not me. Anyway, everything ended up being fine. It was whatever. It was just a moment, a situation, whatever, it's fine. The trip was great. Speech was great. It was actually one of my favorite trips I've ever gone on. Anyway, moments like that could easily be me thinking like, no, I'm done. I'm staying home. I'm gonna do virtual speeches, and I'm not gonna risk anything like that. But no, I'm not gonna do that. I want to go out, and I want to fly to places, and I want to experience new things, and I'm strong enough to be able to roll with the punches for a majority of the time. The same thing applies to social media, which is like a whole other monster in itself, let's be honest. But let's go back to this little room where this person is protecting me, and I have my phone or, I don't know, anything social media, and I'm like, oh, I want to post something like a selfie or a video, and I'm excited, and once again the same thing happens of the person protecting me saying, don't do this, don't say that, because again, if it's going to make you sad, don't do it, because you'll probably just post about it again and call them out, and you're wasting your time. And if you can't handle it, then don't do it. I don't like being told things like that. It feels a little demeaning and unfair. I have learned what works for me and what I can handle and what I can't handle. And I have learned how to use those 3 very scary words out loud without feeling any shame when there are moments where I don't think I can handle whatever it is. And I am now able to say, I need help. And for a long time, I never wanted to say those out loud because I was ashamed, and I'm supposed to be like inspirational, motivational person, but I'm asking for help. Like, how is anyone gonna ever like grow or learn from me? Completely wrong mindset. But my point of that is, I know what I can handle and I know what I can't handle. And I look at situations where there are people who are saying, all you do is call out the negativity, and why are you wasting your breath and doing all of these things? And you guys, I live such a purpose-driven life to where I'm able to press pause and step back and look at the bigger picture. I know what I was put on this earth to do, and everything is sort of full circle and goes hand in hand. It's something that is so big and something I don't think I'll ever fully be able to explain. The moral of the story is that I use moments of negativity to show people that you can't be knocked down and you can't get back up again. I don't want anyone to ever think I live in this world of flowers and rainbows and everything's positive and happy. And yes, it would be great, but how would I ever grow? How would I ever learn how to do anything if all I do is ignore the lesson itself, and the lesson that comes in something that isn't so nice, unfortunately. Using moments that aren't necessarily kind to me, yes, it sucks, but that's moments for me to be able to help other people, but more importantly, hopefully help the person who was saying such horrible things, because obviously they might be hurting, and hurt people hurt people. So if I ignore you, how are you ever going to get the tools or resources that you need? So that's why I do these things. That's why I continue to show up and live my life out loud. I absolutely refuse to allow any percentage of bad to keep me away from any possibility of good. So for that, I can handle it, and I'm going to keep showing up.